Howdy, y'all. Good melanoma morning. Let me tell you what, it's been a roaster all week. Highs, 5 o'clock in the morning is 75 degrees. And the highs like in the mid 90s or higher. Heat index over 100. So it's crazy. It's currently about 9 in the morning. I'm out here just trying to get some stuff done before it gets hot, and then I have to go inside and do some stuff on the computer, which is what I've been doing mainly because I'm bored and it needs done. So good news, the last video when I was working on the car, doing the brake pads, I couldn't find a socket. And I had looked everywhere, couldn't find it. Well, here it's been about 2 weeks now, and I went to the spot where I thought it was, and I'll be darned, that's where it was. But because the socket's black and where it was sitting was black, I didn't see it. And that's probably because I was in a hurry and rushing. So I took care of that earlier. I painted it red. So now if it's on the black, I'll see it's red now. So got that going on. I did some preventive maintenance on Cub's car, just to realize there's more. Check the oil because she's like, I need an oil change, and so we checked it. Had to add a little bit. I got to do an oil change that'll be coming up in another week or so. Her front tires, I'm glad I caught it now, but well, let me show you. I don't know how well you can see, but here the tread looks fine. Here it's pretty worn. So we're out of alignment. And just so you know, I do have a jack lifting it up, and then I have jack stands underneath it. Well, that was a crappy discovery. It's into the tread. So, new tire's coming. Gonna have to get a new tire. The pads, or rotors feel good. There's room left on the pads right there. There's some room there, so that's okay. The other problem that we're having is the control arm right here. When this turns, it pops. Right down here, there's a bushing right here, and the whole thing pops. So that's got to get done. Never stops, man. Never stops. I'm not feeling too hopeful about this one, but see what we can find. Okay, so that looks okay. It's wore. So it's worn down pretty good, but I don't see the tread yet. Let me roll it around here. Nope. Okay. So this one's not to the treads yet. So looks like I need 2 new tires. One for sure. One could probably get by a little bit longer, but never stops. So with this immense heat, my air conditioner, it's old. And it's having trouble keeping up with the heat, so it's constantly like 85 degrees, 80 to like 84 degrees inside, non-stop, all the time. It's crazy. And we went and bought window air conditioners to put in the girls' rooms to help cool down the upstairs, so maybe our AC will hold up, but kind of talked to my neighbor, and he's got the same problem. So I don't feel too bad about that, but it's just, you know, fixed income, you know, and wasn't in the budget, and this isn't in the budget. So I don't know. We'll do what we can to get by and put it on the high priority list, and go from there, I reckon. All right, so after a conversation with the financial advisor, you know, safety wins out, so they're gonna go get new tires. I got them loaded up in the car, the two. So she's gonna go to Discount Tire and get 2 new tires, and then we'll put them on a little bit. So, all right, y'all. So they just left to go get tires. Want to enjoy a Coke Zero. Whew. But yesterday I was reminded of something that came to my attention, and it's easily forgotten. I was reading this book called 90 Minutes in Heaven, and one of the things, I mean, I read it 2 or 3 times now, and each time I pick up a little different nugget. And the one was that this guy was in the hospital, and people were coming to see him, and they'd ask, "Can I get you anything? Can I do something for you?" And he's always like, "No, I'm good, I'm good," which I did when I got diagnosed. And I didn't understand. I was just like, no, I don't know. I've never done this. I don't know what I need. There's nothing you can do, you know, because I feel crappy, and it's me, right? But in this book, though, the guy says he had a preacher friend of his that had shown up while this other person was fixing to leave, and you know, that person asked him, "Hey, can I get you anything?" And he said, "No, I'm good. There's nothing really, you know. I'm just here in the hospital, you know." And the preacher friend turned and looked at him and said, "Dude, you got to wake up. Quit being a dummy." And he said, "What? What are you talking about?" Well, of course, I'm changing up a little bit, but, and he said, "What do you mean?" And he said, the preacher man said, "You're denying these people the opportunity to serve you. We preach on Sundays about fellowship and, you know, what it means to help out your neighbor and to love your neighbor and all that, and you're denying them that. God gave us a gift of fellowship and service, and, you know, take it even a stretch farther, and Jesus washing their feet, you know, the disciples' feet. That was an act of service. And by saying, "No, I don't need anything, there's nothing you can do," you know, the people walk away kind of feeling like, "Gosh, man, I want to do something, but I don't know what." And long story short is, that was something that I had to get okay with, to ask for help, to be willing to say, you know, there's not a lot, but, you know, if you want to go get coffee, or, you know, if you want to, you know, something like that, you know, or I could use a new book. Can we take me to the bookstore? Like that kind of stuff. You know, don't deny the people their God-given gift of service, is what it boiled down to. And this guy wrote that once he started saying, "Yeah, you know, I could go for a magazine," the people were so excited to run down to the gift shop and buy a magazine. Did they know what kind? No. They bought whatever. He goes, "I wasn't into half the stuff they got, but they bought me a magazine." They were so happy to help. You know, and I know we had people that would show up with meals, you know, and we had one couple that showed up every Friday with meals for the weekend. And, you know, they said, "We don't want you to have to worry about anything. Here's your meals for the weekend." And, you know, we didn't ask for that. And that was just a blessing, you know. So that's been a hard thing for me to do. And just the other morning, I had a fella asking me to help. Well, asking to help me. And I was like, no, it's fine. I'm good. We'll be fine. But he said no. About a week later, he comes up, well, the other day, comes up and he says, here. And it was a huge thing. And I was like, no, you know, I can't accept this. And he said, it's a gift. And as soon as he said that, that reminded me, I flashed back to this guy laying in the hospital bed and his buddy telling him, you're a dummy, accept the God's given gift. And completely blown away, because I'm not used to stuff like that, things getting done for me. And I was speechless all day. I mean, all day long. And I don't know. I mean, I just thank the Lord all day long for that blessing. And, you know, and it reminded me, you got to accept it. And so anyway, that was my little story time. So I'm kind of choking up a little bit, because it's, when you put it into words, it's, the emotions are higher than just living through it, if that makes sense. So yeah, thank you to my buddy. You know who you are, and you may never know how much what that meant to me. And, you know, I'm in a position to bless others in different ways, and I try to do that, but not for the praise, but just because it's the right thing to do, or I feel led to do it. So yeah. So rock on. So as you can see, they got back with the tires, and I just had to put them on. I had the radio blaring, and so that's why I just sped this up and didn't say anything. So y'all have a blessed day, and remember, it could always be worse. Just don't ask how much worse could it get.